If I plan on bringing parties to the table, I need to make sure this benefits everybody from a business perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to waste nobody's time. You can't bring something to the table that it only fits for you. For me, I'm looking at this from a long-term perspective. And then again, when I always say this, I looked at my largest expense. Um, when it came down to it, my largest expense was my rent. Okay, immediately, how can I get rid of my rent in a creative way? Instantly thought, okay. In real estate, they talk about it's a lot of the if you hang out in the meetings, if you hang out in those events, they talk about how you can house hack, you can live technically rent free. Like, there's ways that you could do this in a strategic way. You educate, and that's something I remember people talking about that Anthony spoke about a lot. If you buying a property, you want to look at the crime map. You want to see what the crime is there. Because these things that happen at the home, you as the business owner, you are responsible. This is your property. Right here, this is a little different because I'm used to the ones they actually have real maps like this, but they'll show you the crime. This is different, but still, as you can see, A, C, F. This is a C minus. I don't like that. The overall crime. Property crime ain't that. The other crime. And see, that's the part that bothers me. Yeah, I need to go a little farther out. I'm thinking Knoxville. Let's go over there. Calmer waters. Calmer waters. See, as a business owner, like you don't want to deal. Well, for me, I don't want to deal with a bunch of hurdles. You know what I mean? Like, they've done it. Again, I like to partner with people that are Googleable. People that I know that they got my best interest at heart, and I got theirs in a sense. Legal paperwork is definitely being, some looked at and etc. But what I mean when I say that is, if I plan on bringing parties to the table, I need to make sure this benefits everybody from a business perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to waste nobody's time. You can't bring something to the table that it only fits for you. For me, I'm looking at this from a long-term perspective. And then again, when I always say this, I looked at my largest expense. Um, when it came down to it, my largest expense was my rent. Okay, immediately, how can I get rid of my rent in a creative way? Instantly thought, okay. In real estate, they talk about it's a lot of the if you hang out in the meetings, if you hang out in those events, they talk about how you can house hack, you can live technically rent free. Like, there's ways that you could do this in a strategic way. You educate, and that's something I remember people talking about, and I never really paid attention to it until I actually start trying to put this play together. Then I start doing as much research as I can, networking, talking to people. I'm going to meetings that are house hacking. I'm doing all type of stuff to put it together. Um, and the situation, my situation, I'm using, like I said previously, I'm using OPM, other people's money, to the fullest. It's all about, leveraging other people to help you get what you want and then help you to execute it in a good way. So, we gonna have to move to calmer waters. These are decent properties. Um, is this from a business perspective? I wonder what is the I would need to have a convo with the police department and see what does it look like from a business perspective. I say that because that, that's what Anthony talked about. You got to be willing to do those things. You got to be willing to call the property management company and see how much they charge. You got to see have they do what's the current property management. One of the things Anthony always said was, keep the current execs to one because they know the property. But if you got to switch to a one, get feelers, compare, might as well compare results, experience. For me, again, I'm the co-GP, so I ain't got to worry about that. But I'm thinking about that as if I was that person. We with this, I want to go to calmer waters. Not about the asset no more. It's not about the asset no more. It's more about how long you want to hold it until you make your money back, or until you know what I mean. Like, again, it just depends on how you structure it. If you bring parties to the table, you may have to pay them sooner than later. So it just depends on how you structure it. Um, I'm thinking long term. So I'm thinking generational. Long term. That's excuse me. That's my whole play as far as what I'm trying to do. I'm thinking long term. Short term, it don't last that long. Short term, you still got to look for another play. You got to chase plays after play after play. Long term, it's a different decision. It's a different way of looking at things, and that's what I'm trying to do with this. Again, there's ways we could structure this. Again, I'm not spending no money putting this together. I'm bringing everybody to the table. Hey, the credit sponsor I'm bringing everybody. This is what I need. And most of these people, they'll take an equity split instantly. Because again, like I said, we focused on cash flow heavy. If it's cash flow heavy, there's no discrepancy at all. But at the same time, see, and that might be the thing with these though. I would probably still need to look at the finances before I pass on it, because I ain't really look at it like this. This is just a snapshot. It's showing a 7.74 cap rate. I would have to look at it again and see.